What is going on, everybody? I'm back with some more Cuphead, and today I'm going to be ranking every boss in Inkwell Isle 1. So, Inkwell Isle 1, you can see Inkwell Isle 1 has a lot of different bosses. There's obviously a lot of different bosses in Inkwell Isle 1, and I'm going to be ranking every boss in Cuphead Inkwell Isle 1 on a scale of 1 to 10 of the difficulty on how hard they are. On how hard they are to beat. So obviously 1 is gonna be the easiest to beat, and 10 is gonna be like very hard to beat. So yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. And at the end of the video, I'm also gonna say all the scores and everything for all the bosses and everything. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And we're gonna start off with the Root Pack, which this is the first boss in the game. So yeah, this is the first boss in Cuphead. So yeah, it's the first boss in Cuphead. So it's probably, let me just go ahead and show you. So you can see this is the first boss in Cuphead. The Root Pack is the first boss in Cuphead, and you can see the Root Pack is the easiest boss in Cuphead. I mean, you can see you start by fighting I literally just died. Hold on, let me just show you. So you start by fighting a potato. As you can see, it's easy. All right, here, let me just show you. Look, you start by fighting a potato. I'm gonna use Converge here, and you start by fighting a potato. You start by fighting a potato, and then hold on, let me show you the second phase. You fight an onion in the second phase. So let me just show you so you can see. Let's take care of the potato really quickly. There we go. You can see I got the potato. And then you can see over here, we've got the onion. So you can see this is the onion. This is the second phase of the Root Pack. And you can see he starts crying and you have to dodge the tears. So, yeah, you can see you dodge the tears. As you can see, just dodge the tears. And, yeah, that's basically all you do. And then that's the onion. And then finally we have the carrot over here. And, yeah, this is the carrot, as you can see. It's a very easy boss fight. I mean, this is a very easy boss fight. Look at this. I bet you I can beat it right now. And I bet you I'm about to beat it soon. Right now, I'm about to kill the carrot soon. But yeah, this is a very easy boss. The first boss in the game, very easy. Probably the easiest boss in Cuphead. It doesn't really, like you can see, I mean, I'm about to kill the carrot. The carrot does have a lot of health. That's the only thing I will say. The carrot has a decent amount of health. But the carrot is still, yeah, look at that, a knockout. Look at that, super easy. So yeah, now it's honestly time to rate the Root Pack. So I'm going to rank the Root Pack boss on a scale from 1 to 10. I'm going to rank it probably honestly a 2 out of 10. It's literally not hard at all. I can beat it easy now. So even when I first played Cuphead, I mean, it's the first boss in the game, easiest boss in Cuphead. I'm going to have to rank it a 2 out of 10. So that's what I rank the Root Pack. It's very easy. A 2 out of 10, and so 2 obviously is very easy. It's a 2. It's so easy. It's probably the easiest boss in Cuphead. So yeah, I give the Root Pack a 2 out of 10. Also, by the way, guys, before we rank the next boss, if you guys are watching this and are not subscribed, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, because we are growing so fast. Like, I know I've been saying that a lot in the past in my past like 4 videos, but we are growing so fast. Actually, at the time I'm recording this, we were at 240 subscribers. Literally, I'm pretty sure in my last 2 videos that I've made, I was at like 235, and we're already at 240 in like 2 days. And obviously, that's pretty big for me, honestly. Just like 5 subscribers very fast. Even we're growing so fast. So the point is, I just want to thank you guys so much, because we are honestly just growing so fast. And yeah, make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe button. But anyways, without further ado, now we are going to be ranking the next boss, which is going to be Ribby and Croaks. And yeah, this is actually a pretty hard boss. I'm gonna be honest. This is a pretty hard boss. This is especially when I first played this boss. When I first played this boss, I'm pretty sure it took me almost. I'm pretty sure it took me like almost it took me like 4 hours to beat this boss. Obviously, I didn't do it at I think it took me like 4 hours to beat this boss when I first played it. And you can see, this boss is pretty hard. It took me almost 4 hours to beat this boss fight, which is absolutely insane. And you can see right here that this is what you can see. The first phase isn't actually too bad. You can see they just throw out some mosquitoes or whatever that is, and also the green frog like throws boxing gloves or whatever. It's not that bad. I mean, honestly, it's not really that bad. Yeah, that's basically the first phase. That's basically all there is in the first phase, and then the second phase, you'll see. This is what the second phase is. Hold on, in a second you'll see it. This is the second phase. As you can see, boom, look at that. You can see this. This is the second phase. As you can see, look at that. And you can see, yeah, this is the second phase, which the second phase is a little bit. I don't know. The second phase isn't that hard. Honestly, it might be even easier than the first phase. But you can see this is the final phase, which is definitely the hardest. And you can see he turns into like a slot machine. And you can see he throws coins at. You can see he throws coins, and you hit the boxing glove to roll the thing or whatever. And you can see it's actually a pretty hard boss, especially when I first played it. Honestly, it's a very hard boss. I would say it is a really hard boss. Once again, it took me like 4 hours to beat this boss, which is absolutely insane. And yeah, you can see this is the you just keep hitting the boxing glove, and there's random stuff, as you can see. And that's basically Ribby and Croaks. Right now, I mean, you can see I'm not struggling with it too much because I mean. Obviously, I know Cuphead a little. Obviously, when I first played Cuphead, I wasn't that good. But obviously, now that I know Cuphead more, obviously I know how to beat this boss. Now I know how to beat this boss. But yeah, you can see that is Ribby and Croaks. I still think it's a pretty hard boss fight, especially when I first played. It was like a very hard boss fight. Once again, it took me like 4 hours to beat this boss. Once again, I know I already said that, but yeah, this is a very hard boss fight. I'm gonna honestly have to give Ribby and Croaks. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna have to give Ribby and Croaks. And I don't know. This is actually pretty hard. I'm gonna have to give Ribby and Croaks I'm gonna have to give it especially when I'm gonna have to say this. I would say I'm gonna have to rate it honestly a 4. Nah. Well, actually, right now it's not that difficult. When I first played it was kind of difficult, so I don't know what to rate it. I guess I'm just gonna. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna say I'm gonna give it a. Oh, this is a hard one. I'm gonna give it a. I don't know. Like when I first played it, probably would have been like a 7 or 8 out of 10. But now it's like a 4 or 5. So I guess what I'm gonna say is I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it's a 6 out of 10. I think it's especially when I first played, it was really hard. Even now, it is still pretty difficult. I mean, it still is a kind of. I mean, it is still pretty difficult. I would say. I mean, I was at 1 HP at the end there. You could see. So yeah, I'm honestly gonna have to say I will have to give the Ribby and Croaks I'm gonna have to give it a 6 out of 10. That's what I'm gonna give Ribby and Croaks. Alright, the next boss that we are going to be ranking is Goopy. Now, Goopy Le Grande. And now this boss is actually this boss is actually a pretty easy boss. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it's actually a pretty easy boss. My first time playing Cuphead, I beat this boss in like maybe 30 minutes. I mean, it does sound like 30 minutes is kind of. I mean, I don't know. But that was my first time playing. Right now, I can probably beat him pretty easily, hopefully. The only thing with Goopy I'll say is that he has really weird attack patterns, and that's the thing with him, so that's the only thing I'll say, is that he has really weird attack patterns, and because of that, sometimes he can be difficult in some ways, and sometimes he can be pretty difficult. So yeah, and you can see this is Goopy. You can see his first phase, he just kind of bounces around, as you can see. And then his second phase, he like drinks a potion or whatever that is. And then he turns into like he turns like giant, you can see. but oh, okay, and I forgot. Yep, okay, and he also has a boxing glove. Okay, he's boxing, or whatever. And you can see, but yeah, you can see this. His second phase is basically the. Oh my god. Okay, but you can see what I mean by weird attack patterns. He has really weird jump. Look, he has really weird jump patterns. So yeah, and you can see he said, "I'm a handsome slime." And then the final phase is just him. It's just like his gravestone, and you like literally are fighting his gravestone. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to give Goopy. He still is a pretty easy boss. I mean, he is kind of. I mean, he's not like he's still pretty easy though. So I'm gonna have to give Goopy. Probably a 4 out of 10, okay? I mean, I think that's a good thing for Goopy. And also, by the way, guys, keep in mind that this is my ranking. Every time I do, when I'm ranking something or whatever, in Cuphead or whatever, whenever I'm ranking something, keep in mind that this is my opinion, okay? Obviously, it's no, if you disagree with me, that's obviously completely fine. We all have different opinions. That's completely fine if you disagree with me. But, yeah, okay, if you don't agree with me with a boss, just keep in mind this is my opinion, and yeah, if you don't agree with me with a boss, that's completely fine. Obviously, we all have different opinions, but yeah, like I said, I'm gonna have to rank Goopy a 4 out of 10. Alright, so for the next boss, we're gonna be ranking Hilda Berg. Now, this is actually a pretty hard boss, I would say. I mean, I would say it's a pretty hard boss, and this boss is interesting because this is a plane level, and you can see this is basically the fight. The first phase, all she really does is just fly around and just shoot half things at you or whatever. That's her attack. She just but then she starts doing stuff like this. You can see she starts dancing, then she just turned into a bull, and you can see now you can see she has like a. You can see she turned into a bull, and you can see that's basically I'm pretty sure we're still in the first phase, but, or I don't know, maybe we are in the second phase, but you can see all she really does in the first phase is just fly around and shoot things at you. And, yeah, her first phase, I mean, I did die, but I'm just trying, and you can see, wait, okay, so it's actually kind of weird with Hilda Berg. I actually kind of forgot about this. So you can see all of those little lines, like, you can see all those lines, I'm pretty sure, so, okay, so that's interesting, so I'm pretty sure so those are, like, the different phases, so there's, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oh my god, there's, like, 7 phases in this boss fight. That is insane, because the first phase, the second, the third phase, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, there's 6 phases, but, yeah, there's 6 phases in this boss fight, so, yeah, that is insane, but you can see, that's basically all she does in the first, like, in the first 5 phases, and then in her final phase, she turns into a moon and, like, shoots UFOs at you. So yeah, she's actually a pretty hard boss fight. It took me when I first played Cuphead, it took me a long time to beat her. So yeah, I'm gonna have to rank Hilda Berg on a scale from 1 to 10. I'm gonna have to rank her I think she's definitely harder than Goopy. 100. Yeah. I honestly have to rank her I'm gonna have to rank her oh, this is I feel like she honestly is kind of the same as Ribby and Croaks, to be honest. I mean, it kind of took me a pretty long time to beat Hilda Berg, I remember. I don't remember how long it took me, but it took me a pretty long time. I'm gonna have to give this boss a 6 out of 10, the same as Ribby and Croaky. Maybe I'm gonna have to give Hilda Berg a 6 out of 10. Alright, and for the final boss that we are going to be ranking, the final boss that we're going to be ranking is Cagney Carnation. Now, this is actually a really hard level. You know, I'm pretty sure this level took me even longer than Ribby and Crooked. I'm pretty sure this level took me about, I'm pretty sure this level took me about, like, 3 hours. No, wait, no. I think it took me more than, I think it took me more than, you know what, I would say it took me about, actually, it probably took me about, like, but I don't even know, it might have taken me about, like, 5 hours to beat the Dancing, when I first played Cuphead, the Dancing Sunflower, Cagney Carnation, took me, I think, it took me about 5 hours to beat, I'm pretty sure, which is actually kind of insane. I can't believe it literally took me 5 hours to beat. It took me about 5 hours to beat. So, yeah, Cagney Carnation took me about 5. You can see and also, by the way, keep in mind, too, that I'm also ranking these bosses on how long, basically kind of on how long it took me to beat them. So, kind of on that. It's kind of on that. It's basically kind of on how long it took me to beat them. Kind of like that. It has a lot of that onto the, on what I'm ranking them on. So, yeah, it took me a long time to beat this boss, and also, this boss is honestly just pretty difficult in general. I mean, you can see that's his final phase. He just throws vines on the platforms that you're standing on, and he's a pretty hard boss fight. Honestly, it took me a long time to beat, and he is still a pretty hard boss. So I'm honestly gonna have to give Cagney Carnation. I'm gonna have to give him I'm gonna have to give Cagney Carnation a. But I'm gonna give it a 6. You know what? I'm gonna go with a 6. Wait, no, not a 6. I don't even know what to rank Cagney. I'm gonna rank Cagney a. Oh my god, this is really difficult. I'm gonna have to rank Cagney a, especially just because it took just how long it took me to beat this boss fight when I first played. I'm gonna have to say. But I'm gonna have to say I'm honestly gonna have to go with how long it took me to beat. And now, I mean, it still is kind of a pretty hard boss fight for me. I don't know. He's just kind of weird. At least for me, he's a pretty hard boss fight for me. So a pretty hard boss for me. Even though he's in Inkwell Isle 1, which Inkwell Isle 1 has some of the easier bosses because it's obviously the first I guess world you can call it. I don't know. It's not really, but. Yeah, I'm gonna honestly have to rank Cagney a 7 out of 10. I'm gonna have to rank Cagney Carnation a 7 out of 10. Okay, so now we have finished ranking every boss in Inkwell Isle 1. So now it is time for the score. So to start off, I'm just gonna go ahead and say the scores of what each boss got really quickly. We have the Root Pack, which got a 2 out of 10. We have Ribby and Croaks, which got a 6 out of 10. Goopy, which got a 4 out of 10. Hildeberg, which got a 6 out of 10. And Cagney, who got a 7 out of 10. So, the hardest boss in Inkwell Isle 1, in my opinion, is Cagney. So, yeah, I just said it right here. At least for me, Cagney is the hardest boss in Inkwell Isle 1. I honestly am going to say, yeah, I think honestly Cagney is the hardest boss in Inkwell Isle 1. Just how long it took me to beat it and everything. And then the easiest boss in Inkwell Isle 1 is obviously the first level, the Root Pack. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today's video. That was my ranking. I hope you guys did enjoy. Like always, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button for more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.